10 seconds.
Hi everybody, welcome to stream. This is Serendipity. She's joining us today, and we're still waiting for our other girl. Let me tell you, daylight savings hit America over the weekend and also hit Australia. And because Venus, Sin, and myself, we are in actually different cities, it just made a big mess of everything. So apologies for the late start, but we're here. We made it. How are you, Serendipity?
Yeah, I am very excited to do this. Venus just asked me at the beginning of the week, and I was thrilled to be a part of this. Really looking forward to this.
Awesome. Well, we're very happy to have you here. But I'd like to maybe ask you to maybe introduce yourself a little more. Tell us, what you do, what you like, how you got into VR, all that kind of sort of fun stuff.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Serendipity Skye. I'm a 39-year-old woman from Southern California. I was a burlesque dancer in a burlesque troupe called Untamed Babes Burlesque for 5 years, and I just left last October. So I first got into VR, like a lot of people, at the beginning of the pandemic. I figured if I was going to be stuck at home, this was like my chance to finally spend the money and get myself a VR headset. So I did, and I found the app Altspace. And from there, I just got hooked. I didn't think that I would find a social outlet in VR. When I first got my headset, I was just kind of expecting pretty visuals and games and stuff like that. But Altspace was already on the headset, so I was like, okay, well, what's this? And when I went in there, there was this campfire area that had this big billboard, and it was advertising a meditation. And I was like, okay, well, that sounds pretty cool. I'm going to go check it out. And so I went, and I met a lot of really great people from the Evolver community that's now called Together with Trip. And I've just been hooked since. And that's how I met my friend Big Papa, who introduced me to Venus and got me started going to all the Venus SX events, which have been really fun.
Awesome. Yeah, that's good. So you started in Altspace. That's interesting. So you're fairly new to VR chat then.
Well, I've been coming to VR chat since, I'd say maybe close to a year now. It was before Altspace was sunsetted.
Okay.
My friend Big Papa introduced me to VR chat, and we'd get together and have drinks at Bar Hein. So, yeah, I have some experience with VR chat, but I don't spend a whole lot of time in here. But it is fun. It's a really great way to meet people.
Oh, definitely. Yes. I kind of started roughly just over a year. Maybe it's close to 2 years now. And it was the same. I just came in thinking it was just a big game, and it was just, see what the pretty things are. But then I realized that this is a really strong sense of community. You can make really, really good friendships here, close friendships.
Yeah.
I sometimes even deeper than in the real world. You can get really, really personal with some people here, which is lovely. It really is.
Definitely.
And I love the fact that and they're all over the world as well, which makes it even better,
Yeah, like getting to know people you never otherwise would have ever met in your life. It's been really cool.
Definitely it has. Yeah. So awesome. So you're not a rookie at VR chat, then that's good, because Venus and most of her followers were actually fairly new. Now that she's fine, I mean, she knows how everything works. But yeah, she was. So I thought you were kind of on the same boat. But if you're a pro with the VR chat, we're all good. Excellent.
Oh, thanks. So Venus is the one that
Okay.
brought you in here?
No. I was actually here because of Sin. She'll be here soon. She invited me. She
Oh,
asked me
okay.
to kind of come in and check it out. She's into VR. She has been for quite a few years, very earlier on. She's got a few channels and all that. And she asked me to come in here to help her with research, because she's very interested in the avatar effect in VR, how people actually treat you differently depending on the avatar that you wear. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
she asked me to kind of come in as a person that I don't even like social media, like like Facebook and all that stuff. I never was into it at all. So she sort of said, you know what? I need someone who's a little VR virgin. Come in and check it out for the first time and give me your opinions. Yeah. So that's why I came in.
That's awesome.
So to me, it was all like, yeah. But then I just simply fell in love with the whole thing. And I ended up getting my own account and my own headset. And, yeah. And I haven't left ever since.
Yeah, it's crazy that most people don't know about this aspect of VR. Everybody thinks of VR and they think of playing games. They don't think of making friends and being a part of a community. I feel like most people don't know that side of VR at all.
Exactly. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, unless you try it, you really cannot describe it. You can't. I guess it's like trying a new food. Like somebody says, "Oh, have you had avocado ice cream?" You're like, no. Like, I wonder why. You know what an avocado is. You understand the concept, what ice cream is, but like the two together, they sounds like quite different, quite unusual. And you can't really sort of imagine what it would taste like. Whether it would be good or not. The VR is kind of like that. You can tell people about it. You can describe it. But unless they actually experience it, they don't understand it. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, even watching videos, it does no justice at all. You watch a video and it looks, it looks like a cartoon. It looks kind of silly, especially, apps like Rec Room. Those look like very cartoonish. But even in Rec Room, you still like have that connection. It's been really awesome. And I love avatars, and I love knowing that I could be sitting in my bed in my pajamas, but my avatar could be dressed really sexy.
Exactly. Full makeup, nice hair, everything. Yeah, that's the case. That's what I like about VR. Yeah, like Soleil, just to say, like usually, like she's mentioned in the past that when she does her stream, because she's actually in Mexico, so it's really hot. She's like, I'm here sitting, like lying on my bed naked and streaming, and it looks dressed in VR. So it works. Yeah,
I love it.
So,
and I love the variety too.
Yes, definitely. There's so much to do here in VR chat in particular. And I mean, I did visit our space for a little while, from time to time I would go in. I didn't think much of the avatars, but they were okay. It was more about the conversations with people. Cartoony. It really definitely was. Very cartoonish. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was good to have conversations, but the fact that the avatars were so cartoonish, but at the same time, because you had no legs, and it was a little bit too unreal. It did feel more like a game, definitely. So that's why I like VR chat more, because you've got extremities. You've got legs, you've got hands, you got your hair moves. Now, when they started, building the update last year where your hair actually moves more and people can actually grab it.
Oh yeah,
that was incredible. Yeah.
Have you ever done really the ERP?
Yes. You have Phantom Touch?
I've never done ERP before.
Oh,
but I would love to watch sometime. Let me tell you the story. Let me tell you my first experience. I'm going to actually confess to everybody my first experience of, ERP in VR chat. It was actually my second week.
on the platform. And it was actually under my previous account, the one that I came in, because I was just testing it out for my friend. So it wasn't even like this account. And I was in a world, with a whole bunch of people looking in the mirror as everybody does. But I don't like people walking through me. And I know it's not real. I know we are in an avatar in this, but it always freaks me out. And it always has from the very beginning. So people were like walking through me, and I was like, oh, please don't do that, So this guy approaches me and says, are you new to VRChat? I'm like, yeah. Oh, and so you don't like people walking through you? And I'm like, yeah, I know, it sounds stupid, but it just feels like, I don't know, it feels like a ghost. It gives me I know it's not physical, it's more like an emotional thing. Like I feel like a ghost has just touched me, like it's freaky. And he says, what's happening is that you've got phantom touch. And I'm like, what is that? Please elaborate. What do you mean?
Yeah.
He says, you don't know about that? You don't know about phantom touch? I'm like, no, I don't. I got you, girl. Come on. So he opened a portal and he says, come on, I'll explain it to you. And I was like, okay, no worries. And I went through the portal with a stranger, someone that I just met. And because I didn't know how VRChat works or anything. I was like, yeah, okay. And then I go, into the portal. And I end up in a world called the Fox Den. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's nice. It's a nice world. But a lot of guys tend to have it as their home world because, they want to get with girls, And I was like, I'm so naive. I really was. It won't happen again. That I learned my lesson. But anyway, so we got there, and he puts me in front of a mirror, and he says, okay, stretch your hands and look at the mirror, but look at what I'm doing. And I said, okay, no worries. And he started touching my finger first. And he started going into the palm of my hand. And then he started going over. And I was like freaking out because I was like, oh my God, I can feel that. I can feel, how are you doing that? I was on some voodoo or something like magic. But it was so sensual. And I must say, he was very good. He knew what he was doing. It wasn't his first time. It wasn't his first rodeo. So he started touching me and caressing my hair. And I was like, amazed. To cut a long story short, it did go a little further, we started groping each other and all that. I got so hooked on that because for me, in the real world, I'm a very shy person. I'm a bit of an introvert, so I don't like going to bars.
Same.
I don't feel safe. I'm scared of, getting roofied. And I'm not a young girl, I'm not. So I've seen and, things has happened in the past with me and that. So I'm like, I'm over that. I don't want to put myself at risk. So to have this kind of experience in a very safe environment, because I am home, nobody can hurt me, only other than emotionally.
Yeah.
But physically,
Yeah.
safe. Nobody's going to kill me. They might kill my avatar. They might kill my account. But I'm in the real world. The person is behind Lily. She's fine. She's safe. So that's why I got really into VR. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So yeah, that was my first experience.
Well, that guy hit the jackpot. I wonder how often that works for him, just going up and approaching some random woman. He hit the jackpot that day, though, definitely.
It wasn't his first rodeo because I think he's done it before plenty of times. And they like to find rookies, girls that are just starting VRChat because they're like, oh, come on, I'll show you the best places. I'll show you these. Yeah. But girls that have been playing here for a while, they're like, here, come on, let me open a portal and let me show you anywhere. You're like, yeah, right. Nah, I'm not going with you.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, you live and learn.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall and just watch.
Yeah, it was interesting. So we did meet a couple of times after that for about a couple of weeks. And now it was probably like 2 weeks that he would come in and then, he send me an invite and I will just go to this place and we'll have a bit of fun. So to me, it satisfied that sort of emotional need of being close with somebody. to have that sort of
Yeah.
connection because, we're grown women. We've got needs too. But I would never do that
Yeah.
in the real world because it's not safe. It's just not safe.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, but
one of the
then he
best parts
started.
of VR is the safety.
Exactly, especially for girls. It definitely, like, if any young girls are thinking of starting VR chat, I would say, you know what? Yes, socialize here. You're safer than going into a bar, get to know the person really, really deeply, and then maybe consider meeting them in person in a sort of party or something, because it is safer for
Yeah.
us.
So have you ever met anybody in person that you met through VR?
Well, I do know Sin, and there's another person that I did also met in the real world, but he doesn't play as much anymore. He like VR wasn't his thing. He used to get dizzy quite a lot. I have spoke to a few through the webcam as well,
Mm-hmm.
and so I know what they look like, and they kind of know what I look like. Kind of, I'm very shy though, but because I've
Yeah, I
had
feel you.
experiences, I don't really like even sharing my picture because then you're first of all you get judged by the way you look. That's one thing.
Oh
So they're
yeah.
not really
Yeah.
trying to get to know you as a person, your energy. And I had the experience of like my very first someone that after this guy that seduced me, he wanted to be my boyfriend, and I was like, dude, I didn't come here for the boyfriend. I don't want that. And he didn't want to continue it casual. He was so angry that he should have said, well, if you're not interested in being my girlfriend, that's it. I want nothing to do with you. And I was like, well, then bye. And
Wow.
we kind of parted
Yeah.
ways.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a shame.
So later, well, that was his loss, whatever. Because I was quite happy to just,
yeah.
Keep it casual, keep it like just friendly and, have fun. And that was it. But he started like, yeah, do you have Discord? Send me your picture. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want you to know who you are, who I am and who you are. Not at all. But then, a couple of
I'm
months
too
later,
curious.
eventually. You're too curious.
Yeah.
I don't.
I always want to know.
You always want to know? Not really, not with me. I rather keep the mystery. I like to know people by who their energy is more than anything else.
Yeah.
Because you see, I am an interior designer, so for me things are very visual. I go to a place, I can't help it, but I'm always kind of rearranging furniture in my mind on people's homes, and or designing their kitchens, redesigning, and I'm imagining all these things. And so, because I am a very visual person, I don't like to get to know someone by their physical appearance first. I prefer it here. I really love it because you really and people relax. When they're in the real world. They can be very aware of maybe their imperfections. We all have imperfections, but they might be a little bit more shy, so they're not the true selves. And by having this avatar, you become free. To be who you want to be. So, that's why I prefer it here. Yeah, but there was a time where
I think it's easier.
There was
It's easier to get to know people, I think, when they have the safety of their avatar on. People could be more real and authentic.
Exactly. Yes, very much so. Because then you feel confident. Even myself, I'm very shy, usually. I mean, I'm not a young girl, so I'm not shy like that, like I used to be. But I am very kind of yeah, I guess I am a bit shy, kind of in a way. Yeah. So
Same.
For me in here, I'm a little bit more open, more. I give more of myself, and because I have been hurt quite a lot in the past, I tend to build a brick wall in the real world. Like to get to know me is really hard. Really, really hard. I don't have that many friends, really.
I'm the same. I am a total.
It's all right. She she looks cute. Her tongue might be sticking up, but she looks really, really cute.
Does it stick out when
I'm
I
sure
talk
there'll be a
too?
lot of guys. Yeah, because that's what the avatar does. I think it's the avatar settings or could be your controls, but it doesn't matter. Everybody has their own little fetishes, and I'm sure there'll be someone watching saying, "Oh my God, look at that beautiful little tongue. I want to nibble on it." That's what they'll say.
It reminds me of this ad I've been seeing on Facebook. It's for some sort of mints that you use that make you salivate a lot. And so, as you can imagine, they use that to their advantage. And you see this really pretty young girl stick this mint in her mouth, and then she just has her mouth hanging open, and she's got saliva dripping out, and it's just like, yikes, that's a lot.
Ah. That I know. Yes, I know what that can. That would be really useful. That's true. That could be really useful.
You know what? You know what else works though is gagging. I found gagging always helps with saliva. I have really sensitive gag reflex.
Me too. I do. Yeah. I've got a really bad gag reflex as well, but not in VR. Funny enough, not in VR.
Yeah, don't have to worry about that.
Yes. Oh, that's funny. But yeah. So have you experienced ERP here in VR?
No, I don't know. I just it's weird. I feel a lot more comfortable and confident being sexual in real life than I do in VR for some reason. It's like I feel awkward and uncomfortable, I don't know what I'm doing, where in person it just kind of comes naturally, I guess.
Oh, so we're kind of the opposite. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I guess so. And you know what else is weird is I'm a lot more comfortable and confident in front of a room full of people than I am in front of just one or two people. I'm married. I've been married for 14 years now. We've been together for 17. And even though I was in the burlesque troupe for 5 years, I could never just privately dance for my husband. I would just clam up and feel so awkward and uncomfortable. But as soon as I got up on stage, it was like, woo, everybody, look at me. I don't know why. It's so weird.
I got you. I know exactly what you mean. I'm the same. I'm in a party when it's supposed to be a bit more personal and all that. I'm the one that's hiding in the corner kind of thing. 1-to-1, I'm a lot better. I'm very good at that. Well, not very good, but a lot better. But when I was younger, when I lived in the UK, I used to be a fitness instructor. And I would stand in front of a whole bunch of people telling them what to do. Do the right and do this and that, and do the little dance routines and all that. And I would walk around through the room correcting people's positions. I was fine with that, because I didn't feel like a person. I felt like a kind of how would you describe? Not necessarily an object. That's the wrong word, but it's kind
like
of
a character.
It's the sensation. Exactly, it was a persona. That's it, a character.
Exactly.
That they came here not to look at me, but to see what I, teach them, about exercise and keep them right. So I was okay with that. And I used to wear skimpy outfits, with the G-string leotards and really cute little things. I was okay with that because it wasn't me. It was a persona.
So you get it then. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
In my normal life, I just recently started wearing shorts out in public because I was always so self-conscious of my thighs. But like I said, I could get up on stage and strip down to panties, no problem. But it's like you were explaining, when you're a character and you're not being yourself, you have the confidence to be whoever you want to be. And
Yeah, yeah.
that's what I loved
It's
about
like
the
acting.
burlesque. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Just like acting.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'm the kind of person where if you
yeah.
go to a party and there's like 15, 20 people, even if you know them all, I still just clam up and I'm like, I don't know what to do here. I'm okay if it's like
Exactly.
two or
I'm the
three
same.
people, but big groups, I get super weird and uncomfortable and awkward. But big groups on stage,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I have more confidence than ever. Yeah, it's interesting
I'm
how that
exactly
works.
the same. Yeah, yeah. Ah, we are all very strange, but it takes
Yeah.
a variety of people to make this world, beautiful. Because imagine if everybody was the
Yeah.
same. What's the excitement in that? It'd be pretty
Yeah,
boring. But
exactly.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
I
another
must
great thing
mention
about
before we go any
VR.
further.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, just Venus is not here today because her internet kind of, I don't know what happened. Maybe the daylight savings in Australia, but her internet wasn't working, so she couldn't join us. We did ask Sin as well to come and join us, but I mean, maybe she is having problems too because they're kind of in the same part of the country. So I don't know if that's what's happening. But we've got, oh yes, and Soleil. She's actually on holiday. She's gone away with her boyfriend to another city. She lives in Mexico now, although she's American. And she's gone visiting another city, and so she wasn't sure whether she was going to have internet. So that's the reason why they're not here, but they should be here next time, hopefully. But we've got Serendipity here, Serendipity Skye, to keep us company, get to know us, and I'm sure she'll be back another time. Because you're lovely, you
I
really
hope
are. You're a really
so.
nice person.
Oh, thank you. This has been so fun already, and I feel like we haven't even been in here for very long now. This is great.
Yeah, yeah, this is good. So
So
tell me,
in my real
what's your
life,
here? Oh yes, so go on.
my
Tell me about
what?
your real life.
Oh, so I
Go
was
on.
just
Is
gonna
there
say,
a delay
I
between
stay
us?
at home. Yeah, it's always so awkward. Uh, so I work fully remote, and my husband works weekends, so I stay at home with the kids on the weekends. So I don't have much of a social outlet these days. So VR has really helped with that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I've just got a message. Guys, I'm so sorry. Let me just check because I think Sin has been trying to join us and I've been too busy talking that, oh, she sent me an invite. She sent me a request
Oh,
and I didn't see it.
oh no.
But have you noticed that? Have you noticed recently that there's been updates in VR chat and there's certain things that are kind of not working the same way as they were before?
Yeah,
You know, I
yeah.
remember you would
Everything's
just
so
see the
buggy.
little icon, the little message icon in your window, and now I don't see them all the time. Only sometimes. It just depends. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
trying to get
I'm
into
sorry
an
to
event
interrupt.
last night, and I kept sending the invite requests, and they weren't going through.
It's very strange. Anyway, so you were saying before I interrupt you very, very rudely.
Oh no, 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 that's good. I was just saying that I'm stuck at home all the time, which is okay because I'm a homebody for the most part, but I still need some social outlet and I just don't get enough of that. But just like, oh gosh, was that a week or two ago? I met up with a friend in VR chat for drinks, actually a couple friends, and we went to one of the bars. And this bar is really cool. Like you could order these certain drinks, and you could drink them, and they would have a different effect on your perception. Like a mild drink, you would just start to hear kind of like an echo from other people talking. Or if you had like a stronger drink, you'd hear more of an echo, and things would start looking like wobbly. And then if you had too much to drink, you would black out entirely and wake up in an alley. It was so much fun. But like you were talking about the safety of VR earlier, and that kind of came back to bite me in the ass because I knew I was safe and I was hanging out with friends and I was having so much fun and the drinks were going down too easily. And it's just like, I'm going to keep drinking. I'm good. And of course, I ended up drinking too much and ended up passing out on the floor, leaned over my bed, and my husband had to bring something over for me. I'm sorry, I'm giving way too much information right now. But yeah,
good.
I had too
It's all
much to
good.
drink. I'll leave it there.
Oh, we all done it. We have all done it. Believe me, I'm the same. I never used to drink. I was, the type of girl that if I was at a party, they'll give me maybe some fizzy drink like a Coca-Cola or 7-Up or something like that. Spin me around 3 times, and that would make me drunk. Like I don't handle my drink very well. But I like tequila. So I'm exaggerating, of course, but I would just maybe have 1 tequila shot, maybe 2, and that would be enough for me to kind of get completely wasted. So that's me in the real world.
Yeah.
But so when we started sort of
Yeah.
having parties here and enjoying ourselves, and then you're like, oh, come on, are you drinking? And I'm like, okay, that sounds fun. I'm gonna start doing that. So I started getting into the tequila because I like it with lemon and with chili powder. And so it's delicious.
Ooh.
So
Never tried that.
But the thing is that
Oh.
it's funny because I don't handle my drinks so good, especially with one of my best friends here in VR. We will be like drinking and he'll be like, okay, shot. And yeah, shot. And we'll have a shot. And then after 3 or 4, and I'll be like, come on, shot. And he was like, my God, really, you can handle your drink? Oh, this is crazy. And I'm like, okay, this is after a few weeks and parties, and like he would be completely plastered, and I would be kind of tipsy, but okay. And he was like, oh my God, you can really handle your drink, And I'm like, okay, my confession is that your shot for me is a sip. So by the time you've had 5 shots, I've only had 1 because I only sip it, Oh, it's like, fuck that, that's no fair that, you're cheating. And I'm like, I'm sorry, So the next time we had the party, he was like, no, but this time, no lily shots, real shots. And I was like, oh, okay, right, okay, we'll give it a go. So by the time I had 3 shots, I was gone. I was so drunk. I was going around worlds, jumping from one place to another, and they kept trying to follow me and like, Lily, don't go. And I'm, oh, but this world here is beautiful. And I would open and I would just leave, and they'd be like chasing me around because I was so drunk. And I was talking to everybody and I was kissing everybody and hugging everybody because I get very amorous when I'm drinking, a bit too much. But so, and they were like, oh, trying to contain me. But it got to the point where I ended up throwing up in the real world. I ended up on the floor. And then, my roommate, she had to come in and take me to the shower and shower me because I was like covered in vomit. And it was a disgrace. It was bad.
Okay, well, that makes me feel better about sharing my story.
Oh. Believe me, with Wask, and if you're watching, yes, remember that day? No more. I can only do lily shots because, it was bad. Okay, so I've sent Sin her invite, so hopefully she'll make it here. But it's all good. We're having a good chat. Okay, so going back to what we do here in VR chat, and so the events that you go to with Venus, she does all those self-improvement and that kind of stuff. Have you been to many?
Yeah.
So did you actually met Venus here in VR chat or in Alt Space?
I met her in Alt Space, when she was doing the events back there. Oh yeah, it had never really occurred to me. Like I've known Venus for quite a while now. I've been going to Venus events for
Yeah,
shit, maybe a year,
yeah,
maybe even more. Yeah.
yeah. I've known
She used
Venus
to
for a
host
lot longer.
she used to host these role playing events where you could just like go and watch people role play, and I loved that because I still got to feel like I was there with people, but I didn't have the pressure of having to be the one performing. So she's got to do those again. Those were fun.
It was like watching a 3D movie kind of thing. Because
Yeah.
I did actually go to one of her events in Outspace, although it wasn't one of those. It was like when she was just about starting out. But because I didn't like the avatars, I ended up more sort of playing in VR chat. So when she came to VR chat, because they had to, Outspace closed down, I helped her around, taking her to worlds and kind of, letting her know what I know. I mean, I'm not an expert by all means, but help her out, get herself established here. So it was good. It was fun, with her new. I love to take newbies to new worlds and get to know via
Yeah.
chat. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand this guy that seduced me. I understand now the appeal of newbies because when they come in and they're like, "Oh my God, this is amazing! This is beautiful." You kind of remember
Yeah.
how it was for you as well the first time, and you're like, "Oh yeah, leave it again." It's good.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Did you?
It's
What
really
else?
fun.
What else do you like doing in VR chat? So the parties? Do you like the exploring?
I do. Yeah, I do some world hopping. Like I was trying to get into that event last night, but I couldn't, so I just started going to all the worlds that were trending, and there's like it's crazy how detailed and beautiful these worlds are. And I always just like end up
Yes.
wishing, like I really wish I was really here right now. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. But you were. You know. I
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
VR is just another life. So
Yeah, it
you get to
is.
travel and see it. You get to go into space and all that kind of stuff. So it is really really cool. Yeah, I wish more people would join us. But I think it's starting to get a little bit more mainstream. I think when people start using
Yeah.
it more for business, that's when things are going to kind of speed up a bit and we'll have more people. At the moment, since the Quest came down on price last year, we've got a lot of kids playing the game, which I
Oh
mean,
gosh, yeah.
I understand. Yeah, I understand kids, they have to have games and play. But like, I've met kids as young as maybe 5 years old in this game. And sometimes I'm thinking, there's going to have to be a way of kind of regulate that because, uh, like just like in the real world, used to be like I think the grandparents like I believe they used to play in the street and it was all fine and safe and whatever, but now it's
Yeah.
not. But it kind of like
Yep.
that, VR is starting to get like that for kids. So we need to kind of formulate a way to keep them safe. But yeah,
Yeah, I let my
that's my
kids play
opinion on
in
that.
some VR games, but they both know that VR chat is not okay. I don't want my kids coming into VR chat. There's so much.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing that always comes up is racism. Like, there's just insane amounts of racism in VR chat. It's shocking. Like, wow, I live in a really diverse area, so I'm not used to hearing stuff like that. But you pop into a public world in VR chat, and yeah, uh, a lot of kids saying some really awful, shocking things, and then the inappropriate avatars and stuff. VR chat's definitely not for kids. It shouldn't
Oh,
be, at least,
definitely
but
no.
they're always
No,
here.
yeah. I mean, I understand there's pretty worlds for just children and all that, but I think there has to be, I don't know, more safety guidance. Like YouTube just to be like that. Like YouTube was for everybody. But then it got to the point where a
Yeah.
lot of predators started preying on the young kids. So now they've got the children's YouTube. which is a way of, keeping it safe, so far. Like, I've heard horror stories anyway. The predators are still managing
Yeah.
to get into the platform, but then that's up to the parents to kind of monitor what's happening. But it's a little
Yeah.
bit of a better way of, so we can have our adult play, our adult conversations and games and all that, and children are protected. So the fact that you can create private worlds in here, that's one way of keeping it safe in a way. So, but yeah, we need to do more, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Serendipity. Tell us, so
Yeah.
you like partying here in VR chat, which I do too. You haven't tried
Yeah.
the ERP. Do you have Phantom Touch?
Not really. Maybe every once in a while I'll get a little something, but for the most part I don't.
Does it happen to you when
I
you're not
wish I
thinking
did.
about it and it catches you by surprise?
No, I think it's more like if I really focus and try, then maybe a little bit. But no, it never just like hits me out of nowhere. I have to really think about it.
Oh, okay. Okay. And so when people walk through you, you're okay with that sort of thing? It doesn't bother you?
Yeah, no, it doesn't bother me. What does bother me though is sometimes if somebody gets right up in your face, especially if
Okay.
they get right up in your face aggressively. So part of what I do for work is I moderate live guided meditations in Rec Room. And just about a month ago, there was this person that was just causing disruptions, and I was, muting them and freezing them. And then after it was all over and I unfroze and unmuted everybody, this person came right up in my face and started questioning me why I was doing that. And it was just like, whoa, that's not cool. I don't like that. I think that's probably the only time that's ever happened, but it really made me uncomfortable. I was not expecting that sort of a reaction. I think, because I'll get close enough to people like this regularly, but it's a lot different when you're having a conversation where this one person was just like getting in my face, approaching me aggressively. So I wouldn't call that phantom touch, but it was somewhere along the lines because even though it was in VR and I'm safe in my home, it still made me super uncomfortable.
Because you felt the aggression. The aggression translates in any form, and
It
you felt
does,
that
yeah.
energy, and that's it's especially for us girls. That kind of energy is very scary, because we know that we can be killed by a man quite easily, really. Yeah, I know that there's girls in there that are quite powerful and strong, and maybe they're taller and muscular, and that's fine. But usually, the majority of us are fairly kind of, I'm very small. I'm only 5 feet, so yeah, men can be scary. Yeah, and aggressive men. I mean, for goodness sake, I'm sometimes scared of women. If they're taller than me and bigger and they're aggressive,
that's
it can be
true.
really scary.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I've definitely had some experiences. So yeah, I'm 5'3". I'm short also. And I don't know, guys just feel like they could treat you a certain way and you're just gonna put up with it. This one day I was shopping at the grocery store and this guy was following me around and I was just ignoring it because, it was a grocery store, broad daylight, there was tons of people around. So I didn't feel like it was any sort of real threat. So I was just ignoring him and I had headphones on and I was listening to music and at one point he approached me. And so I kind of pulled my headphone off and I don't remember what he was saying to me at first. I think he was saying something like, "Oh, you didn't notice I was following you around?" And I said, "Well, I noticed, but I'm trying to just ignore it." And he kept trying to talk to me and it was just, I was making it clear that I wasn't interested and I was, I put my headphones back on and I walked away and he just kept following me and it made me so nervous. But then I got into line and he disappeared, or so I thought. but this creep went around the corner and he was waiting until I was walking out of the store and he approached me. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was really graphic and it was just shocking. Like this guy thinks he could just come up to me and talk like this. And this, like, it was, like I said, it was broad daylight, surrounded by people. And this guy was trying to follow me out of the store, asking who was at home waiting for me. And I'm like, whoa, you need to
Oh
back
my
the
God.
fuck off, dude. Yeah, it was really creepy.
Oh, yeah. That's why I don't like the real world. That's what I prefer in VR.
I know.
It's
I
a
know,
lot safer.
same.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
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 There's a lot of crime where I live too, which is it's scary. And especially with social media, so you could see everything that happens. Like I shouldn't be, but I'm a part of this group for a police scanner page where, people will listen to the police scanner and then they'll post in the group what's going on. And it's shocking.
Oh no.
Like I'm such a homebody, and so I don't see it until I go onto Facebook and all of a sudden I'm seeing, somebody who's stabbed at a local grocery store or somebody who's shot on the corner of the street, and it's just like, oh God, this is why I stay home all the time.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I would do the same. I mean, then the fact that you're staying at home, you don't feel guilty about it anymore because you're like, I'm justified.
Yeah.
Why should I put myself in danger?
Yeah.
When people are crazy like
Yeah.
that. It's oh, it's a shame.
Yeah, I'm used
But
to
anyway.
like since my husband works weekends, and my kids are in school during the week, I like to go out and do my shopping during the week, like during school hours. And so that's what I've been doing for years. So on the occasion that I have to go out on the weekend and be around people, I'm just like, oh my God, this is too much. I can't do this. This is why I don't go out on the weekends. It's awful.
Yes, it can be overwhelming. I know what you mean. Yeah. Like my friends will call me like, oh, come on, it's the weekend. We're not working. Let's go somewhere. And I'm like, oh, really? Do we have to? Do we have to? I mean, I'm happy to, guys, come to my place instead, and we'll just watch a movie and, chill. And yeah, I'm such a homebody too.
Yeah, I recently
when the pandemic
went
hit?
to...
Yeah, when the pandemic hit, and then I was told that I had to work from home. And everybody was like, oh my God, this is horrible. I miss being with my coworkers. I miss this and I mean the socializing. I was like, I don't know what you guys talking about. This is heaven. I mean, heaven. The day they told me that that's it, we're going to have to come back, to the showroom and start looking, talking to people. I cried the night before. I was like, sobbing. I was like, why? Why did it have to end? But I didn't discover the VR chat, you see, at the time. Because I'm not into social media and that kind of thing. And now I'm very much into it. I've got the Instagram business going, and now we're doing the Twitch and all this sort of fun stuff that I'm kind of learning about. But before, yeah, it was all work. That's all. But yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say I have a love-hate relationship with social media, but I just hate it, honestly. I have it, and like to some extent, I feel addicted to it, just because it makes it easier to keep up to date with people you care about. But I just hate it, and especially Instagram. I fucking hate Instagram. I was just talking to a friend about this earlier. Like, I feel like every time I log into Instagram, I end up feeling bad about myself, like I'm not enough. So I don't have the app on my phone, and I open it maybe once a week just to see if I get any messages. But I fucking hate Instagram. And I hate the pressure it puts on women. I mean, it does it to everybody. It does it to everybody. Everybody, you're looking at the highlight reel of everybody else's life. You're not seeing the ugly reality. So you're just comparing yourself. Like, I wish I was that good of a mom, or I wish I looked that good in a bikini. It's nonstop in social media. It's always getting shoved in your face.
But that's very funny because my Instagram, all I ever get from my feed is all about VR chat. The people that are in here, photographers that they got their avatars, the pretty avatars. That's all I see, really. The only people that I follow are VR chat, people, not just guys,
Yeah,
girls too. And I have maybe a couple of people, like companies maybe, that I'm interested in. But when it comes to, like, moms and models and celebrities, I don't follow anybody like that. So I do enjoy
that's
Instagram
good.
because
That's
of that,
smart.
because it only shows me what I like. I don't see the
Yeah,
other bullshit. I tend to follow a lot of comedians, funny people. That's the sort of stuff I like. And,
I
and, and you
gotta
know
I
what?
gotta
I know
update
what you're talking
mine.
about. Yeah, because that was how it was with Facebook, because it started, I'm actually originally from Mexico. So Facebook, when it came out, it was a good way to keep in touch with the family over there. And it was quite practical
Yeah,
for that. And it was good to see, where everybody's at. And we got a little closer. But then it started the gossiping, the fights, the family fights, and, the like, talking behind people, like, it just got crazy for me. And I was like, nah, I don't like this. And I used to play Farmville quite a lot when it first came out. A lot. I was
oh, so
addicted.
did
That's all I
I.
did in
I
Facebook.
loved Farmville.
Farmville.
Yeah,
But when it started
yep.
changing that you could buy this and you can buy that, and I was like, fuck this.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah,
can't always.
yep.
So that's when Farmville went to shit. I left Facebook because I thought there's nothing here for me. So bye.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my
Okay.
problem with Instagram is I only ever really used it for my burlesque stuff. So I follow a lot of
Ah.
burlesque dancers and a lot of belly dancers and a lot of performers. So it's really hard comparing yourself to professional entertainers like that.
Yeah. No, I only follow VR chat, photographs, and comedians. That's basically my thing. And so it is fun. I do enjoy that. But now is Twitch, and then there's now YouTube. Well, YouTube, I've always used YouTube, but that was more for learning and learning
Yeah.
things and that sort of stuff. And just,
Yeah,
it is
yeah, I
good.
don't see YouTube as social really, but it is. But it's
No.
different. It's a different kind of social.
Yeah, and it depends what you choose to follow, because then you get more of that. Like at one time there was this
Yes.
program on a crime, somebody that made a crime or something, and oh wait a minute, Venus is coming. It's gonna be here soon. So yes, I got into the watching the show of somebody that committed the crime, and it was about an hour long, and I watched the whole thing because it was quite interesting. Horrible, but unfortunately, because of that, now the algorithm keeps sending me shit like that, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want to see this. And unfortunately, sometimes I'm like, okay, I'll watch a little bit of that, and then you get hooked, and then you're like, oh my god, this is terrible. It makes you think like, oh, I'm so lucky that nothing like that has ever happened to me, and I've never been on that situation. But yeah. It's horrible. Yeah, so you've got to be very careful what you watch or what you click on or what you give it a like or a dislike, because in the algorithm,
Yes. Exactly. Like my Facebook is all tailored now to cute animal videos. I mean, that's like 90% of my Facebook now is cute animal videos. I just noticed, like, in the beginning, you always see this negative stuff popping up. And when you respond to it, even if you put the crying face, it affects your algorithm, and that sort of stuff just keeps showing up. So I just stopped reacting to anything negative, anything that made me feel bad, and I just started focusing on reacting to the cute videos. So that's my whole Facebook feed now.
Yeah, because even if you like somebody else's comment, even if you didn't write anything on it, that gets the algorithm going. Yeah, and it says, oh, you're into that sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you know what? The algorithm in social media is very, very much like the human brain. I talking about social media, this is, I think, I saw it. I don't know if it was Facebook or Instagram, on one of those, a post, or it might have been YouTube. as a guy explained, he was saying that your mind will always prove you right. That's your mind's
Yeah.
job, to always have your back. It's like your best friend kind of thing. Always proves you
Yeah.
right. So he said, and I remember he said, so be very, very careful on your narrative, what dialogue you've got on your mind about yourself. Because if you keep saying, oh,
Yes.
my life is horrible because so everything goes wrong for me, I'm so, I'm so inept at so many things and all that, your mind doesn't know that that's a negative thing to say. And you will like, okay, yeah, all right, I'm going to prove you right. And it will keep bringing things in your life and show you that you are right.
Yeah.
And so it's very, very bad for your mental health. So instead, if you try to think, you know what, I'm only human, everybody makes mistakes, if you've made a mistake, or just simply said, I'm wonderful, I'm a good person, my life is actually going really well, good things are coming to me very soon and all that, your brain will prove you right and you'll be surprised. It's like, how do you say that? When you ask the universe for things, it's the same thing. It's basically your brain showing to you that you're right. Good things come to you.
Yeah, it's the law
right.
of attraction.
You're a good person.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's something wrong with my hand.
Like attracts
I can
like.
only do this.
Mine does that too. Yeah, same. Okay, my right hand always does this, and there's nothing I could do to make it not. This one is okay. I don't know what's going on with this one, though.
This is weird. Yeah, I think it's VR chat. He must have done something to the avatar because he wasn't like that before. So who knows? Who knows what's happening? Anyway. But yes, going back to the mind thing and how we sort of talk about, oh, Venus is here. Hey, sweetie, come in. She's just going to get her bikini on and she'll come and join. Oh, she can't join us?
Aww.
I don't know if she's got audio.
I can. I'll just turn off the stream that's going. So I haven't got a double audio.
Oh, okay. A double thing going. Yes, I know. I did that once when I was streaming for another friend. And oh my God, the feedback I got from the stream and it kept bouncing and repeating. And I got such an echo. It got to the point I was going crazy. I really thought, and I thought, you know what? Maybe this is how it is when you hear voices in your mind. This is how bad it is. And I experienced it and I thought, oh, it was so bad. I had to kind of leave VR altogether. And it was my own fault.
I just wanted to be a spectator,
she
really.
Comes.
I wanted to be a spectator today for a change.
You wanted to be a spectator. Oh, okay. Well, just come and say bye to everybody because we are almost at the end of the stream. I'm sorry, my cable is got stuck. I'm gonna.
Yes. Serendipity.
Hey,
Lily Bits. Hey, I've been enjoying you on the 2D platform, and I've just had a bit of a technical issue, but I really enjoyed watching this lovely little spa bath here.
It is a beautiful world.
That
a friend of
mine. That is gorgeous.
Yeah, isn't it beautiful?
Isn't it gorgeous? The lotus? Yeah, I love it.
You're
great. The lotus
You're
in the
PC.
right spot.
Yes, I'm on PC.
Yeah.
She goes a bit silly.
Yes. Oh, I see. What's happening? Oh, don't go through me. But I know what it's just see you have to. There's a screen over there. There's a screen over there where you can actually change it. So this is a spa instead of a glass heating thing.
Like,
but you're good.
I'll sit up here. So summer has begun in the Oceania region.
Finally. Yes.
And we have daylight savings. The thing about Australia is that they did a poll for the whole of Australia, and they said, would you like to have daylight savings or not? And each state voted differently. right? So we have a couple of states who go to daylight savings, and Queensland doesn't because well, who knows why, really? Maybe because the cows would get confused; they wouldn't know when to come in for the milking. Yeah, who knows? Like, there's a lot of farmers in Queensland. That was always a joke. But, yeah. So then we have this difference within the country that's so confusing, but we'll work it out. We also changed the stream to a little bit later. So, amazing that we have a producer here at last minute.
It was actually, what happened is that the stream, we decided to do it earlier than we usually, because we were doing it at 10 p.m. And then we thought, oh, no, we'll go to 9 p.m. like we used to before. And then daylight saving hit in America. And then daylight saving hit in Australia. And you were like, what? No. What am I? I thought I had like an extra hour.
No, nothing's changed for America yet. They're still in daylight savings.
Not yet.
Yeah?
Until November, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, no, nothing's changed with them. That's why you got confused. We've only changed. They're still in summer mode.
No wonder.
Okay, now you get it.
Just switched to fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've officially entered
daylight
fall now,
savings. But still another couple of weeks on the daylight savings. Yeah, okay.
That's what it didn't make sense to me. I was like, fortunately, I have this little app that shows you, all the different time zones all over the world. You can actually pick which one you want to see. If it wasn't for that app, I tell you what, my phone had a different time than my computer. I was like, okay, what the fuck? Where am I? What planet is this? Because I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, it's scary for a bit. But, we got there.
In a world of VR relationships, I couldn't, they wouldn't exist. Like, you would never be able to actually meet up with somebody if you can't get your head around these fucking time zones. And without the app,
yes,
without the app, I would be lost. Everyone would be like, I was there. Where were you? Oh, I was there. I didn't see you. Because we're just like passing ships in the night.
Yeah, breaking up people's hearts, thinking, oh, she doesn't love me because she didn't show up to our date. Like, and then you show up an hour later, like, oh, he didn't love me. He stood me out. How dare he? Yeah, that's crazy. But anyway.
But once you get your head around it, yeah, I think, then you start to understand how, what time of morning I have to, you have to wake up to see me in my evening. And usually I'm here, sun shining outside, and to run events for EU and the US zones. It requires us to be here in the day, like through the daytime. And it just means that compromises have to be made in order to make this global connection.
It's your event at Violet, which I love your world. Violet is an amazing world. If you ever get it, guys, if you ever get a chance to go, it's a really nice club. And you had an event there, and I was going to stream it originally, but then when you said, oh, yeah, but it's actually at 7:30 in the morning, and I was like, I think I'll pass. I think I'll pass. I basically didn't wake up. I meant to, I tried to wake up, and I was like, no. I woke up and I was like, oh, I missed it. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
What time is it where you are, Lilibet?
Okay, let me check my computer because I don't even know. It's just after 1 p.m., 1:18. Actually, we've gone over the stream. We should be finishing now, but yeah, it's just 1:18. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's 7:18 p.m. here.
And it's Monday.
So you're the next day.
It's not Sunday. It's Monday.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's crazy. The time difference
I'm in your
is crazy.
future, baby.
We're in your future.
Yeah.
You're connecting with your future right now. Yeah.
Yes.
It's already been
How's
actualized
Monday going, guys?
on level. Hey, and there were so many there's so many questions I had while I was watching the stream with you guys, but you weren't watching the chat. But we had Wolfwood Hun
Oh, I'm
dropped
so
in
sorry.
and said hi. No, that's okay. And I
Aw.
wanted to just thank Serendipity for jumping in here as our special guest this week. You never know. We may
Well,
call
thank
on
you
you
for
again.
having me.
Yeah, because there was
Yes,
lots of
please
questions
do.
that I
yeah,
had.
definitely.
I had loads of questions, but because I had a technical issue and then I decided to just sit back and watch this week because I wanted to see the other side. Yeah. Mm. I have these
Yeah.
questions still that
Yeah.
I'm so
Another
curious
time.
about you. Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Because
you
then,
giving
you
your
know,
time.
I'm also like Big Papa is streaming to YouTube and I'm streaming to Twitch just in case because I didn't know what was happening. And I thought, okay, so I'm not being able to, and I'm also working the cameras. So that's why I wasn't able to check on the chat. I mean, Sin was supposed to join us and she sent me a request, you know, to join the world. I didn't even
She
see
got
that.
waylaid.
Oh, it's
I
been,
think she may have got waylaid because I saw her online. So, you know, I think maybe she decided that you can
Aw.
manage it. 2 girls and 1 mic this week.
2 girls and
Yeah.
1 mic.
Yeah.
Yes. It worked out okay.
Yeah, it's been fantastic.
Okay, guys. So it's
Paul,
been awesome
thanks
having
to the
you guys
producer
here.
who jumped in at the last minute.
Big
Yes,
Papa.
definitely. Thank you for that. You saved my life.
And who is now able to stream to YouTube. Yay!
Yay!
So
Yeah.
excited.
Intros
Thank you for Serendipity.
outlays. Yes.
Thank you very much,
Serendipity
Serendipity,
Skye.
Oh, you're
standing
welcome.
here for Serendipity Skye for standing in here for Soleil. But I would love to have you on
Anytime.
the show again. You've been so nice.
I think we
It's really
should.
good.
Yeah.
And thank you, Venus,
Okay,
for
cool.
coming in at the end, even if it's a little bit. So it's nice to see you, and I'm sure everybody miss you. So,
Yes.
guys,
I
next
was
time.
enjoying watching
next
the titties, actually. Like being able to actually see them from the front for a change instead of always from the side. Yeah. So, yeah, beautiful.
Okay.
And
So,
really,
it's
really
good to see
pretty.
you.
And I know it's great. Our expression, our freedom of expression.